Friday journey for you?
Oh, it was a long drive on Friday. Yeah.
Now, where are these folks sitting? Where are
They are in Oregon, and this is where it's first. They're watching this right now.
You have to ask me afterwards. Okay, we'll come and find you. We'll come and find you. What are you anticipating?
It's beginning August 21st, 2017.
Thank you. We're from Sky Television in London, and you're live talking to everybody. Great, hi. After that, and then it is totality. When totality happens, you can take your glasses off until just for a couple of minutes.
For those 2 minutes 30 seconds, that's the only time that is safe to look at the sun, and they will be doing it, and they'll be doing it with all kinds of contraptions, as we can see. I think this group is from Santa Cruz in California. We talked to them a couple of days ago.
That is so telescope. Mike, you're live on Sky News in London just at the moment. This is impressive. Hi, how are you? Can we say hello really quickly? I know you're busy. Sorry, hi, I'm Kay. Live on Sky News just at the moment. Tell me about this.
They're happy.
Out their spots over the last couple of days or so. My colleague Greg Marlin is here with me. I'll chat to him in just a second, but first I want to bring in Hakeem Losawi, who is in Wyoming, also on the path of totality of this total eclipse of the United States. He's an astrophysicist. Hello to you.
Hello, how are you?
We are very excited. It has started here where we are. We can see the first nibblings of the sun by the moon. Tell us what happens next.
Well, what will happen is that the sun will slowly move across the, the moon will slowly move across the face of the sun, obscuring it more and more. And the first thing you'll notice when the sun almost covers is that the sky will start to look weird. And then once we get almost at 100%, the sun's surface can only be seen through the valleys and the craters on the moon, and most of it is covered. And so you get what are called Bailey's beads. The tiny pinpoints of light of the sun that shows through the valleys and the canyon are the series of points of light that we call Bailey's beads, and then ultimately only one point will remain. And because of the contrast, that point will appear very bright. But there will still be a thin ring of light around the sun, and so we have what we call the diamond ring effect.
That's a cool place. See the Parthenon?
Wow.
See the people standing at the...
You're watching
Clockwork. Greg Milam is here with me as we look up towards the sun's about 20% of the sun's gone, if you will, nibbled away by the moon as it heads in front of it. We're about 45 minutes away from totality. Very exciting here in Madras in Oregon. What about in Idaho Falls, where Lauren Blanchard is waiting to chat to us from Fox News? Hello to you, Lauren. What's it like where you are?
Hey, well, it has actually just begun here. I was just taking a look at how the moon is just beginning to come over the sun. A lot of these people, there are hundreds of people here in Idaho Falls. Many of them have their glasses on. They are eyes up to the sun.
Very cool.
Looking at it on the sun, then all of those things we've been talking about for days now will start to happen, and that feeling of dusk arriving. And the temperature and the light changing, and it certainly is changing down here as much as it's changing up in the sky as well.
And that feeling of anticipation that we've had from people over the last couple of days, that's sort of changing now, isn't it, to sort of almost unsure of what to expect and how people are going to process that emotion. Oh my goodness.
It's almost awe, isn't it, when you talk to people, that they feel in the presence of something remarkable. They've been told what it's like. Some of them have been lucky enough to see it before elsewhere around the world over the years, but those who haven't have heard so much about what it should feel like, and it's gone quite quiet here now, isn't it? There's a real anticipation that this is the moment.
Really a remarkable coincidence that the moon exactly fits across the sun, and there's no spectacle quite like it. And not only do you have the anticipation and you view it as a rational modern person, knowing that it's going to go away, but we still have inside the feeling from thousands of years ago when we didn't know that the sun wasn't being eaten by a monster or a dragon. And the very fact that you see this black hole in the sky where the sun was brings out not only a thrill, but also something very visceral and something very profound and biblical inside you, because blotting out the sun is about the worst thing that can happen if you don't know it's going to come back. Astronomers who were called High and Ho were not saved, and they were executed for their negligence.
But even today, I believe, Prof, that women in Zambia, pregnant women in Zambia, are told not to go out during a solar eclipse because it wouldn't be good for the baby. And if you'll indulge me, I just wanted to share with you and our viewers, and indeed Greg here as well. I'm not sure I've told Greg this story about Christopher Columbus. Did I tell you the story yesterday?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you today. So what happened was Christopher Columbus was on his travels, Doctor. In fact, you might even have told me this story. And he and his men were not getting on terribly well with the locals, and the locals decided that they were not going to offer them produce and replenish their supplies anymore. But Christopher Columbus knew exactly when, in this case, it was a lunar eclipse. So he did tell the elders that if they didn't provide them with the produce that they needed, he would turn the moon red. And they didn't believe him, and that's exactly what happened. So they were incredibly anxious about that, and of course, we know the end to that story. So it just goes to
The same each time there is a solar eclipse, really. There's an eclipse in 2 years' time, which you'll see in South Pacific and in South America. There is an eclipse in 2090, which will be the almost repeat of the eclipse we had here in August 1999, because it's part of a similar cycle of eclipses due to the periodicity of the regularity of its orbit.
Okay.
Sea de una estrella que haya explotado, solo se consiguen energías suficientes para generar los materiales de los cuales estamos hechos. Las grandes explosiones, cuando una estrella muere, en algunos de los casos su muerte es violenta y puede explotar, y es ahí donde el material se echa a volar por el espacio hasta caer millones.
Here on top of Bald Mountain, more than 9,000 feet in the air. I got my eclipse glasses, I'm ready, and I'm actually seeing here the eclipse is taking place. It looks almost about 1/3 covered, so that's really cool. I'm wearing my eclipse shirt, not as cool as Rachel's glow in the dark, but still repping it. And we've talked to people from all over the world that have come here from Paris, from Italy, and again, a lot of local people. The tickets up here are limited tickets. More than 1,100 were sold, but again, they didn't want to have it too overflowing up here on top of the mountain.
Lots of people are saying to us, you can actually talk to us, but only talk to us for a minute or two, because we really want to continue monitoring the path. I've lost my comms. I'm thinking that they can still hear me in London. Not sure. Yeah, they can, and we've got a minute to off air, Greg. So we'll wander over here and have a chat to some other people, or certainly put ourselves in a position where we can do. Look at all of these things that have been set up here, Dave. People even looking after their lenses, of course, and that's the best way. Joined us. I feel sort of weirdly emotional about it, Greg. The light is weird. Not quite sure how to best describe what we can see.
No, it's gone very quiet here. You know, people clearly anticipating this and have been for so long. But you're right, the light is very strange. Someone said the other day it's like a sooty light. It feels like there's soot in the air. It's got cooler. What are we? We're getting close now to that total eclipse, and that
about 10 minutes
they've all been waiting for. And we're told that people do get emotional. People don't know how they're going to react.
I can feel my heart racing.
When your watch has stopped.
And my watch has stopped. It actually has.
Really?
Which is a bit weird. More people than ever before will be able to see this eclipse. It has about now hit the coast. It's heading our way. To some other people and see how they feel. We're not going to get in your way, but hi, you're live on Sky News just at the moment. How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah. I'm feeling weirdly emotional about the whole thing. No? Okay, maybe it's just me then. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen one before?
No.
Okay. So what brought you here? Why particularly Madras in Oregon? Where are you from?
Portland.
Okay. Oh, so you've not gone very far then. Okay.
They've got boxes that they look through.
Okay, you've known about it for a while though, obviously.
Yes. And that's my uncle who's got all the equipment.
Oh, yeah, we chatted to him earlier, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, let's chat to some other people. Hello.
1776 was the last time we had a coast-to-coast eclipse totally, exclusively to Americans. How much more American can it get? This is the Great American Eclipse, baby. I hope you all take part of it.
Thank you, Rob. We're going to come right back to you in just a couple of minutes so you can show us what you're seeing. And I just want to say, we've all got these glasses here, and you can see the setup here and all these bright lights. I put these on, and you see nothing. So when Rob says, put the glasses on and test with the light on your iPhone, that's a really good indicator that these glasses are probably approved and you're in good shape. So here's the question: what's it going to be like? I thought we'd check in with someone who has experienced it before. Bill Nye, the science guy, you know him. He's the CEO of the Planetary Society, the author of the New York Times bestseller, Everything All at Once. He's at the Homestead National Monument in Beatrice, Nebraska. And Bill, no question in your mind this is going to change people today?
I hope so. It's already started here. We can see it if you have the special glasses. It's getting dimmer and dimmer as the moon comes across the disk of the sun. And just notice something that I gotta say I didn't expect. Are you guys excited? A lot more people than I anticipated are excited and anticipating this event. In other words, you can feel the excitement building, even though we're just a few percent into the occlusion, into the eclipse. It's really thrilling to see so many people excited about this science.
As soon as the moon blots out the sun, you will see this bright atmosphere around it, which is only best studied during a total solar eclipse. It's the sun's hot outer atmosphere. It's much hotter than the surface, but when the sun is not eclipsed, the brightness of the surface completely swamps it. So it's a very exciting time for scientists to observe this strange region of the sun. And the question they're asking is, what shape will the corona be? Because it varies between what we call solar maxima and solar minima. At solar maxima, it's quite elongated and asymmetrical. But at the moment, we're at minimum solar activity. So they're expecting it to be fairly symmetrical and even all the way around the sun. But they won't know that for another couple of minutes.
People are starting to get incredibly excited here, as you can probably hear from my microphone, Doctor. I personally am also finding it quite breathtaking. I feel that my heart is racing. I don't necessarily think that it's a dragon that's eating the sun, but it is something that, as a human being,
on the atmosphere of the sun.
It is incredibly dark. It looks like night is falling. The clouds certainly exacerbating that, but this is beyond twilight. It's a spooky, spooky experience. What do you have to say? What does it feel like?
We came from Los Angeles just to see this with my nephews. We drove all the way from Los Angeles.
What drove here from Los Angeles? That is commitment, baby. Welcome to the Oregon coastline. How's it feeling right now, seeing your first eclipse?
It's amazing. I love it.
And we need the lights to see all this. We need the lights. I got to check it out one more time, David. Oh my, it is just absolutely spectacular. Look how dark it is, how quiet it is. The air is still. This is like being in the eye of a hurricane. It is spooky. It is spiritual.
I tell you, Rob, America is watching this with you. And when you see the corona around the sun there, Rob, the atmosphere of the sun, talk us through the science of that. I mean, that's hotter than the sun itself. It's millions and millions of degrees Fahrenheit.
It's, you're talking about, thousands of degrees Fahrenheit, but what we're seeing right now is the corona. The outer atmosphere of the sun, which we don't get to see any other time. This is why scientists are launching balloons. This is why they got their telescopes out. This is why they're so jazzed about this, because we're able to see things that we don't normally see, with the exception of the eclipse. Yeah, exactly. She said there's something coming out from it. It's almost like you can see some solar flares coming out. Bailey's beads is something we saw earlier. The moon is not completely smooth, so we're seeing some of the outer edges of the sun come through those valleys and over those mountains, and that's why you see kind of this star effect now. And different colors are happening right now. It's unbelievable. Oh, the diamond ring! We're starting to see it. We're starting to get out of totality now. That is our 2 minutes of ecstasy, quite honestly. Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is extraordinary. To let people know at home how we're pulling this off with our photographers. Yeah, Rob, I just want to let folks at home know how we're pulling off the technology of this. The photographers operating these cameras have to slide in a lens, if you will, into the camera to shoot up. at the beginning of it and at the end, but during totality, you can actually pull that out. So that's why you're seeing some of the shifting shades there on your screen. But Rob, now we're seeing on the other side here what happens. It's almost the exact reverse. And you talked about those Bailey's beads shining down, coming through the valleys. That's named after Francis Bailey, who first figured out what that was.
Exactly. I mean, you know, so much of science, the terms and names that we rattle off are pioneers that discovered them, or were in some process out there making things happen. Now the sun's coming out. It's getting brighter. It's getting a little bit warmer. It's hard to describe what it's like. David, the rest of America is going to experience it now, fast and furiously. Back to you.
In fact, they are right now. Let's go to Madras, Oregon, where Matt Gutman is standing by. Remember, Matt was just under blazing sun a moment ago. Matt, talk us through it.
It's hard to. I'm almost speechless. The crowd here is absolutely ecstatic. I'm going to have our cameraman, Glenn, turn down the lights so you actually get a sense of how... Turn it off, Glenn. Let's see how dark it really is. It's pitch black here. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Right now we're looking at the corona that's 1,000,000 degrees. So much hotter than the surface of the sun, just about 6,000 degrees. You can see it right there. You guys, I'm gonna come back to our folks here. I mean, you guys drove 9 hours.
You know, this is the second most beautiful thing I've seen in my life.
Is that the first?
I was thinking this one here, yeah.
Smart husband right there. Did you notice that? That is wisdom at work. I want to bring you over here to a friend of mine I met. Aria goes to... This is spectacular. Aria studies astrophysics at Pomona College. Aria! She drove here from Boston, David. Drove a car from Boston. That's 3,000 miles.
No, it's absolutely amazing. It's so dark out of here. It looks like a sunset over there. It's amazing.
And you can notice that the temperature has gone down substantially. There's so much less radiation here bouncing up and heating us up that it's actually chilly. Folks are in their sweatshirts, David.
Sweaters because we knew it was going to drop something crazy over here. And so now we're warm and fine, right, Carmen? Yeah.
Thank God, man. Wow, this is a spectacular sight, David. This is something that so many people didn't expect to see. Airplanes in the sky. That must be an incredible sight. Just beyond the teepees, you can see them. And this is lasting for 2 minutes and 4 seconds because we're right in the crosshairs of that totality. It is happening right here. And you can hear the cheers from the crowd as people watch that corona just radiate out. Now, it might have been clearer had we not had those forest fires nearby, but still, that is a pretty exceptional sight that so many people here didn't expect to see. We have folks with their telescopes out here. I'm going to try not to interrupt them. He doesn't want to be interrupted.
See if we go back.
What do you guys think?
So I think Greg's here. Greg, is that Venus? Okay, this is Venus here. Mercury's here as well. People are absolutely captivated.
They are people serious and regular. So I think the expectation that they had has been more than delivered. I think people are just stunned, as we are. I think by what this is, it starts to emerge now.
At least we've got glasses back on. But the moon has across the face of the sun now and starting to peek out against the other side. Some 3,000 miles an hour is what the shadows are moving just at the moment. Look how bright it's become. Oh my goodness.
Someone said yesterday it was unworldly, and it is, isn't it? That's it is the most extraordinary experience of understanding what we're feeling.
Yes, let's go chat to some of these people that Dave was showing you just how amazing was that.
It was absolutely.
Oh Oh my goodness me, did it exceed your expectations?
Yeah.
Didn't it? I heard you screaming and looking through the telescope. Can you not talk? Can you not tell me?
There are no words to describe.
So when it goes back this way, they don't need glasses anymore.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you seen it before?
No, it was the first time ever.
Did it live up to your expectations?
Absolutely, it did. It was amazing. Yeah, it leaves you speechless.
And it moves so quickly.
Yeah.
It happens so quickly. You don't expect it to happen so soon.
That's
really?
right. That's right. It was boom, and then you see the diamond ring, and it's over.
And did you take your glasses off for totality?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And then just as it starts to move again, you realise just how bright the sun is. Wow.
That's great.
Yeah, it sure was.
Lifetime experience.
Yeah, let's speak to the expert over here. You were showing everybody, weren't you?
It wasn't long enough.
It wasn't long.
No wide angle lenses.
Me too. Okay. Oh, okay.
Got a picture.
Pretty drained by it.
I'm sweaty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I see your picture? Did you take that, Liddy? That's amazing. How did you feel when you were watching?
it was really cool. Like,
Yeah.
it was really cool.
It was. How many have you seen before? You look as though you're a bit of an expert. No. Wow. That was impressive. You let everyone have a go and everyone needs to see it.
Okay, gotta share.
You've got to share. You're going to go and see it more now you've seen that.
That's a good question. There's a story out there. There's a story out there that you've probably seen about some guy who's been to everyone since he was 14.
That's right.
His wife. Remember that?
Yeah.
It cost him his marriage.
Yeah. Bear that in mind.
I'm not going to risk
Not
my
with
marriage.
that. Okay, fair enough. Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Let's go and find the other people who are up here and screaming. Come this way if you would.
Where are you from?
We're from London. And that was live. You were great. You were great. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Let's head up this way really quickly. Dr. Whitehouse is still with us. Dr. Whitehouse, oh my goodness, it was exactly as you predicted. It was absolutely spectacular.
It was, wasn't it? It's just amazing. Whether you see it, on the screen and you appreciate, a fraction of what it is.
They can look at it now after it's
seeing how quickly it's over and how dramatic it is. And there was that beautiful symmetrical corona, the sun's outer atmosphere. And actually I could see structure in that. I could see prominences, which are, if you like, explosions over the surface of the sun that are throwing vast amounts of material up into space, and some of that material can strike the Earth's upper atmosphere. So it was just remarkable. It's, you will rarely see a better eclipse than that. You'll see longer eclipses. The longest they can be at, I think, over 4 minutes. But that was depends upon how the orbit of the Earth around the Sun is changing and how the orbit of the Moon is changing. And it's never happening in, if you like, constantly. It's always changing its velocity and it's always changing its position. So there is a slight variation in the speed of the point of totality as it moves across America. Not much, but as you speak, there are NASA jets and other airplanes actually flying along that path, trying to keep up with the moon shadow, trying to make observations which give them a totality which is longer than the 2 minutes 40 seconds. And that's the case. There are commercial airliners who are doing this. NASA has got instrumented jets which are trying to prolong the observations of the outer corona as long as they can. So yes, the rest of America is waiting for totality to approach them, but there are some people who are chasing the sun all across America to get those precious observations.
Those so-called Bailey's bees, bits of lights poking through the canyons and craters on the roughed-up surface of the moon. That's actually what you see, the glimmering lights. And they talk about the diamond ring at the very last moment, that blast of light. And just listen to the crowd now waiting for this in Idaho.
Yeah, these people came all the way down from Jamaica. They traveled more than a day, and you're seeing it right now. Yep. Janice and your friends, what's it like? It's awesome!
It's the first we actually seen a solar eclipse. We always seen a nuclear eclipse, but it's the first
What a great accent. Jamaicans.
And really looking up,
Jamaica,
it's
man.
beautiful. We're seeing the full moon covering the sun. You're right, David, it has that diamond effect around it. And Angie and your family, you've taken your kids here. You're from Idaho. You grew up in Sun Valley. You came down from Boise. What's it like?
It's just amazing. We wanted to create something really special, and this is like incredible. It's so great. What do you think, Hayden?
It's so great. I've never seen anything like it.
Excited. Back to you, David.
All right, thanks so much, Olivia. This is a stunning sight. And just the beauty of the colors. You know, we normally only obviously experience this, you know, at sunset, at twilight. And now so many parts of this country are going to see it turn into night and then day again within a matter of just a couple of minutes' time. Next up, Idaho Falls. You can see the lower corner of your screen. 1:53 seconds to the next totality, and Eva Pilgrim is standing by. This is the official NASA observation site, right, Eva?
That's right, David. And they have a lot of scientists